Hi, welcome back to TurtleBurger podcast. My name is Brittany. Thank you for joining me today. It is Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was not really planning on filming today, but the mood struck and I gotta go with it because I have a huge mess over here that I've been saving to show you guys, and I'm sure my family is tired of seeing it and not being able to look out the window because of my projects. Anyway, I hope you are doing well. Let's get into it. I have 3 finished objects. I have lots of works in progress, which includes some new cast-ons. And I also brought out one really old project that I am hoping to have some accountability on, and I figure if I show it on here again, then I will be sure to do it because it has been hibernating for well over a couple of years. Anyway, my little pumpkins back here, I did those a couple of years ago from a free tutorial from Melanie Ham. I will try to remember to link that. Her channel is still going. If you know who Melanie Ham is, she's no longer with us, but her channel does still support her family, so I encourage you to check out her videos if you're not familiar. This pattern was really easy. It's crocheted pumpkin, and also I never wear my projects on here, do I? But this is the Knit Chat Cowl that I made this spring for Darcy of Chitchat Knits. And it's just been a really great day with it for it. It's starting to finally get a little cool here. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. That's my decoration. Let's just move on to things. You may hear TV in the background or an ornery 10-year-old who wants to make inappropriate noises. So I am raising a family in the Midwest, and it is what it is. I apologize. He's supposed to be doing schoolwork, and little lady's trying to eat, so they're both distracting me and distracting each other, so yay. Okay, moving along. Before we get into... Please stop, you two. You do your school, you eat. Stop. Okay, so before we get into the projects, I wanted to announce I used a random generator to select a winner from the sock stash along, which if you're new here, other than YouTube, I am only on Ravelry as TurtleBurger. I will link that below, and within that group there is a make along that has been going on all year. It is a sock stash along, so any socks that you make, any size, weight, whatever, from yarn that you had prior to 2023 is accepted. I've gotten so many submissions in there, and I am so appreciative. So what I did was I went through and got July 1st to September 30th, all of those submissions. Thank you all who participated. The random number generator selected number 67, which is Carla from the Carla Knits podcast. She is always linked below, I believe. I can't imagine why she wouldn't be. So congratulations, Carla. These were her, I think she called them Cosmo Girl from Legal Socks, using a Legally Blonde colorway. So beautiful, so pink, so Carla. But if you will send me a message, Carla, with a pattern of your choice, or patterns, whatever, up to $10, congratulations. Thank you, everyone. The next round of winners, I guess, will be from October 1st to December 31st. So whatever the first podcast is I do in the new year, I'm hoping to have 2 winners from that one. Okay, let's get into some projects. These are in no order because I can't remember what order I finished them in. I'm pretty sure I can though, so we'll just go with it. So these are, my first project are the Pioneer gloves. I believe it's by McClure. This was part of a make-along with Jana from Purl Together. And I'm just going to put them on here so you can see. Yeah, this one won't go over my watch, but that's okay. We'll fix it anyway. Okay, here they are. I made mine a little bit longer in the wrist here. As you see, they are fingerless gloves. This was such a fun and easy, I say easy, it was an easy pattern, but it really took some thinking by the where your placements were and which hand you were doing and everything. I am pretty sure I'm going to unravel the binding on one of them. I thought I did the same one. Oh, they even kind of pulled the same, didn't they? Anyway. But this one turned out so much looser, almost as if I didn't even do a stretchy bind off on this one, but I can't decide which binding I like best. So I haven't decided which one I was gonna unbind and redo. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it, and maybe I'll just leave them the same because sometimes I can be lazy like that. They both fit really well. I did the size small, or I don't know if she went by small or just whatever. It was her smallest size. But anyway, and they are super warm, super comfortable, and I'm looking forward to wearing them. Cinderella. Okay. All right. The yarn I used was Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed. It is 100% superwash fingering weight yarn in the color Myriad Lights. And I've already taken, no I have not. I used a size 2.75 millimeter needle, and that's really all there is to say about that. Those, I did that yarn because it will match my Spesh Cowl that I did from Darcy of Chitchat Knits. And also, I can't remember, I have filmed this so many times already and restarted, so I can't remember which time it is, but in case I haven't mentioned it, I am wearing the Knit Chat Cowl from Darcy of Chitchat Knits. It's getting to be that time of year where even in the house, it's nice to have something around my neck, and I'm really enjoying this. And I dyed this yarn myself using Knit Picks Bare Muse fingering weight yarn, and it is so nice and I really like it. So anyway, maybe for the second time, that's what I'm wearing. That was my first project. And then the second project I am really thrilled about. It is a Musselburgh hat for little lady. Oh, that is so bright. Yellow is her favorite color. So yeah, so everything is yellow. Here it is. Before I will try it on, I made the size, technically I think it's the size 3. Okay. I need to catch my breath here. I'm kind of nervous for some reason because I wasn't planning on filming, and then I guess the mood just struck. Anyway, so the Musselburgh hat is a pattern by Ysolda Teague, and I am pretty sure this was the size 3. It was the size for children or small adult head. Hi, honey. Okay. So I will get into the yarn and everything, and she actually likes to wear it like this without the brim folded up, but I personally would like it folded up with the brim because I think it's super cute like that. But it is really, this is such a nice pattern, and this is the first one. It's the third one I've had on the needles, and the first one I'm actually finished. It is very thick. I think even a fingering weight version was very thick because you essentially have 4 layers, but I use worsted weight on this. Technically, I think the pattern goes from a light fingering to a DK weight, but wanted to make this one. I thought I'll make it work. As it turns out, my gauge was 5 stitches per inch, which is the tightest gauge that they have listed in the pattern. So that worked out really, really well. And it just makes me want to make like all the Musselburghs. It takes forever because I'll probably never get this folded back. It literally took me 25 minutes to figure out how to do this. But you start at one crowned end, and then you knit this long tube, which the crown increases for me were, I think, 3 inches. And then the size I made, you knit to like 16 1/4, which would put us at 19 1/4 inches. And then a decreased crown, which I'm gonna assume is another 3 inches. God bless you. So, and then somehow you fold it up. I absolutely had to look up tutorials for this, and even then I was not getting it, so I don't even know if I could get it back. Let's see. Just fold it up inside itself like that. It is very thick near the crown, but once it's on your head, you don't even, oh, I did it, yay. Well, I'm glad that didn't take, thank you. Glad that didn't take 25 minutes again. I was very excited about that. Anyway, okay, so there it is, and she likes it, which is important. The yarn I used was Red Heart Super Saver in the color Bright Yellow, and I used a size 8 5mm, and it used, I believe, if I'm going off memory here, I have all the notes and for everything in my Ravelry project pages. I'm pretty sure it was 107 grams. So all you would just get one of these, like the smaller 7-ounce skeins, and it worked out. This one actually didn't take me nearly as long because it was worsted weight, and I'm not even kidding when I say I want to take all my scraps and make scrappy Musselburghs. I mean, they would either be good gifts for people to put like in a gift tote, or donating to charity, especially this time of year, would be fantastic. For the homeless, that would actually be really nice. So, and I am impressed this fits my 3-year-old, and she will easily, well, it fits me, so she could probably have it like until she's an adult if it's not worn out or lost by then. So I am very thrilled about that. It was just very exciting to be able to finish that. And my last work in progress was also, I was very thrilled about, because it was more of a challenge to me. I did not expect to finish it, but if you have been here for a while, you probably notice a theme in my projects that they are all either variegated or a solid color. There are very few projects that I have changed color in, just because I don't feel like I'm very good at it in knitting, and I don't like to do it. So one night, actually it may have been an afternoon, I don't remember, Shaina Billow sent an email that said, here's a hat pattern, if you can do it in 2 days. Obviously this was to all of her testers, not just to me. If you can do it in 2 days and have a Ravelry project page with it on there showing and being finished, I will give you another pattern in mind. Plus, obviously with test knitting, you keep the pattern they send you. And you didn't have to let her know or anything. She just she put the PDF in the email and said, if you want to do it, have at it. And I thought, I will never finish a hat in 2 days, but that's a really pretty hat, and I'm going to try it, and I am going to change colors. That was the challenge that I wanted, was you know when something just hits you and you're like, I want to learn something, but what do I learn? And then this comes through. So the pattern was for her, it's the splatter paint hat, but last weekend was Rhinebeck, and she was releasing her splatter paint pullover, which I also really wanted to test when it came out, but I am not at a point in my knitting level that I feel comfortable taking on a sweater test knit and being sure that I would have it finished, because that's just not where I'm at. So anyway, here, not only is it beautiful, but I did finish it, and she did give me a pattern, which I selected the corresponding splatter paint pullover, which I was very thrilled about. And it actually fits. It is a fitted beanie, and these colors worked out really well together, and I am just thrilled about it. I made her size small, and it has these adorable little like bobble things in them. They just kind of puff out a little bit. And here's what got me with wanting to make this pattern. These little, mine didn't turn out very well, but these little lotus, they're not really lotus, it's the star stitch, but years ago, before, maybe 3 years ago, before I even started knitting, there was a hat going around. It was a bulky beanie, and I want to say it was called the lotus hat or something, and I just really always liked the look of those like little lotus flowers, and that's what these are. She called it the star stitch. I don't know if people can just name what they want or if it's an official star stitch, but they are just so beautiful, and now I am thrilled that these few are very good, that I know how to do them. I was very thrilled. I think the lens is actually over here, but I keep looking over there. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I'm very thrilled. It made the size small. I will probably keep this for little lady. This yarn right here is what I did her love note in this past spring. So let's see what we got here. I used a size 6 4mm. I'm pretty sure I did not change colors. My main color is this purple. Oh, it's a mess, it's got to be redone. But this is Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the color Lilac. And then the variegated is, this is what I have left, is Yarn Bee Soft Secret Ombre in the color Whisper. Will this come undone? No, I have it folded over. Anyway, here's what's left in the ball. It had just really beautiful pastel rainbow colors. Love it. And it is so incredibly soft. And it turned out really well. I actually ended up, I'm trying to remember, this was like a week ago. I'm pretty sure I did not do as many of these, and I stopped this one in the middle. Like there's supposed to be a whole nother one of these sections. I left that out because I like my hats fitted. So what I did, I was doing this on Magic Loop, is I just kept putting it over my head, would pull it down to my ears to where I wanted, and then when it felt like I should be decreasing up in here, then that's when I started decreasing. I didn't, so I have the notes in my Ravelry project page, but I think I would decrease and then knit around, and then I kind of went off script from her pattern a little bit, but I was very thrilled. Could not believe I actually finished it in the time frame, and she gifted me her beautiful splatter paint pullover, which I'm very excited to make at some point. And in fact, I doubt these are even still available at Hobby Lobby. I got them in 2018 because that year I was convinced I was going to make an Easter shirt for myself, which of course it was a disaster. It was going to be a crochet granny square shirt, but I didn't really know anything about gauge, and the pattern originally that I was using called for DK weight. And oh, that was the thing. That is a very light worsted, and the splatter paint hat uses a DK weight, but definitely a fun pattern. I did not enjoy it for the 2 days. Like, it was, if it were something that I had started that I'm like, this pattern just stinks, I wouldn't have continued it, but I wanted to keep working on it. And so that was that. Okay, so let's move on to some works in progress. My first work in progress is a new cast on. This is a new hat design, which will be coming out around, I think she said she was aiming for about November 7th. This is the Moonglow hat by Darcy of Chitchat Knits, linked below. Highly recommend her patterns and her podcast. She is super sweet and really fun. And you can't really tell because I have it on the 16-inch cable, but this is, well, let's start with the brim. This is a really fun cabling. It took me like 4 tries to cast this on. My brain was not wrapping around it. And in fact, it wasn't until I was done with it that I even figured out what it was doing. Because I thought the cables were like arrows, I guess, and kind of going like this, if that even makes sense. But they're not. They're just a really fun cable ribbing. Beautiful, very easy and memorizable. I just wasn't processing what it was that I was supposed to be doing. And then the body of the hat is this really fun zigzag. Super fun. Once I got past the ribbing, which I believe mine is maybe just a hair under 2.5 inches. But the zigzag stitch is an 8-row repeat, and it just flies. It is really fun. And I was actually going to make the sample when I went to my yarn stash. I was going to get a Malabrigo yarn that had been gifted to me, but this one was literally on top of my tote, my yarn tote. And I was just like, you know what? It's there. I don't have to do anything with it. And I love this color. So this is what I ended up making it as. It is a worsted weight hat. The brim starts out on a size, I'm almost positive, yeah, US size 6, 4mm. And then you go up to a US size 8, 5mm for the body. I am currently on the 2nd repeat. I'm pretty sure I'm doing the smallest size, which this one's a little different. She's going and by small, medium, and then like a large, extra large, I think is how she has it. And it is working up super quickly. The yarn I'm using is Red Heart Super Saver. And this is the color Minty. You can ignore my notes there. That's how much I had left. Sometimes I write on the label how much I have. Or no, this says 52 yards per ounce. So 1 ounce of this will get 52 yards. So anyway, that was something I was trying to figure out a while back. Anyway, so that is that. There's not much else to say about it. Really fun, really pretty, and the zigzags go by really quickly. Let's see. Alrighty. And then, oh, I know, with the cabling, what I ended up doing, part of the problem I was having was I was using, I went to, or I mean, I didn't go anywhere, but I was using like a little stitch marker type of thing. I went back and forth between a couple. One was just like an open one, and then one was a light bulb stitch marker, and I was just having some problems. So then I went to this thing. I'm pretty sure I ordered something on Amazon, and they sent me one of these with it. And it worked out fine. But what I ended up having the most success with, that the cabling really started flying, was I got out one of my, I need to put it back, my Chalgo DPNs, and I would put the stitch on there, and then I'd slide it to the other end and be able just to knit right off of it. That's what I had the most success with, that I wasn't like dropping stitches or splitting stitches or anything like that. So anyway, just a tip in case you don't have a cable needle, you could use a DPN. Or I also tried it in between, before I got to the DPN, I was trying it on my 40-inch cable, but that one was just more pain than it was worth trying to figure out. Anyway, so that is that. I just have it stored in a plastic bag because that's where I had my yarn in at the time. And so I thought, instead of looking for a bag, I will just keep it in the plastic bag the yarn was in before I started using it. Okay, next, and that is that. That's the Moonglow hat by Darcy of Chitchat Knits. She is expecting to have it out around November 7th or so. So definitely follow her on YouTube, her podcast, or Ravelry. And okay, let's see, what else do we have next? Oh, this one I'm excited about too. This is my husband's Musselburgh hat. This is the first fingering weight version that I am doing. I do not remember where I was the last time I filmed. I'm pretty sure it was one of these two markers, but I can't remember which one. And then this I can just take off. It's a cute little stitch marker by Mindful Makes. It's a little bubble gum tape thing. I'll go ahead and tell you why I have it on there. So several weeks ago I was watching, so I mentioned Kristen of Do So Knits. I have been subscribed to her for a couple of years, but she's not someone I watch regularly. So I have decided to try to clear out all my subscriptions because I get overwhelmed with how many I get, like in the recommended, or not recommended, but when people I subscribe to post. So I've started trying to clear those out and just to unsubscribe to the people that I don't watch because I'm overwhelmed. And the people that I do enjoy watching, I don't watch and keep up with the exception of Carla, Darcy, Nitty Natty, and the Crazy Sock Lady. I think those are the only ones, other than my true crime series, that I watch when they come out. And even that is a lot. So what I had tried doing is I thought, well, if someone comes up and I don't watch them on the regular, then I will watch and see if I still enjoy them and whatnot. Anyway, long story short, one of the people that came up that I had only actually watched 1 or 2 episodes prior to this was Pearls. I think it's Pearls and Polish. I think that's her name, is Pearls and Polish. And the episode I watched, I really enjoyed, so I stayed subscribed to her. I will, since I'm talking about her, I will link her down below. And she had mentioned that her episode was all about, it was basically a whip parade where she was wanting to go through her whips and decide to either finish or frog them. And she said on that episode that one thing she was going to try to do was these sprints that she heard about from Kristen of Do So Knits. And she explained it, and I was like, that's really interesting. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. Well, of course, if anything goes to the back of my mind, it gets forgotten about. So, I didn't think much else about it, but the idea of the sprints is she's rotating projects and only working on one project for 4 hours at a time before she goes to the next project, and that's how she's getting her projects done and off the needles. And I was like, that's a really good idea. Well, again, I forgot about it. And then sometime in the past week, I don't remember what day exactly, I was watching Lisa, who is Yo Yarn Girl. I will link her podcast as well. And she mentioned that she is also doing this. And so I thought, let me go find out what this is exactly. And it's basically what I explained to you. She is selecting like 4 of her projects, and she will work 4 hours on one and then rotate it, go to the next 4 hours, and she's not working on anything else. And those 4 hours obviously are not at one time. I mean, it's however long it takes her to do 4 hours worth of knitting. So I thought I would do that. I have not kept up with it, but I didn't even finish one 4-hour sprint, but that's what that marker is. It's a really long story to explain it. But again, this is another Musselburgh. This is for my husband. The pattern is by Ysolda Teague. I am using a size, I frogged the one I had and changed needle sizes, so I'm pretty sure I'm now using a US size 2.75 millimeter needle. And the yarn I'm using is, let me find the label here, Huntington Valley yarns in the color blue. It is a 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And that is coming along. I am making him the size medium, I believe. And I think that size goes to like 18.5 inches or something like that. So it is straight knitting. It has been great for bringing out and about when we go places. And that is that. Let's stick with Musselburghs because this one I'm not sure about. So I am also making myself a Musselburgh hat. Let me show you what I'm using first. The yarn is Alta Truth in the color Purple Plum. It's an 80% merino, 20% baby alpaca DK weight. I'm using a size 3.25 millimeter needle. So it occurred to me, I don't remember why it occurred to me to I think I know why. It just looks huge. That's why. So I decided to check my gauge again, and I was wrong about my gauge. I believe I thought I was getting 7 inches per inch, but really I'm getting 6 inches or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But I'm like, oh man, that is gonna turn out huge. So I have stopped working on it because I am trying to decide, do I just go with it and have an oversized hat that I probably won't reach for and wear because I don't really like oversized hats or like slouchy hats on me? Or do I just chalk it up to the inexperience of making this pattern and rip it out and start fresh with the correct gauge? And also I'd probably go down a needle size to make it a little denser. Not sure on that. So that one is kind of in timeout, but I don't know. I think I even thought about, I'm not sure if I've done it yet. I even thought about I don't know. I don't have a needle in here, so I'm guessing I didn't. Or do I just keep what I have here, go ahead and change needle sizes to make the gauge a little smaller and work it from there. I don't know. Undecided. If you have an opinion, please leave them in the comments, because I just don't know. So there's not much else to talk about on that one. Okay. My next work in progress is a sock for my husband's niece for Christmas. I don't know that I'm going to get all these done, but I had hoped to make socks for Christmas for his mom, 2 sisters, and 2 nieces. And I'm only on the first sock for the first niece. I have made none other. And of course, I'm in the middle of a round, so sorry about that, is what it is. But these are the socks that I'm making for the first niece. This is where I was last time. So I knitted and finished the heel. I'm on the gusset decreases. This is just a vanilla heel, 64 stitches. I did a heel flap and gusset, and again on the gusset decreases, and then we'll go on to a foot. These will be, she wears a size 9.5. She adult. She's 16. So love this yarn though. I am using size 1, 2.25 millimeter, doing magic loop, and the yarn is, yeah honey, good job. Do you want another one? Nope. Okay, just a minute, I'll be done soon. Okay, this is Cascade Heritage Prints. The color just says 77, but I am fairly certain when I bought this, it was something to do like unicorn, something like maybe unicorn rainbow or something. So very pretty, very soft. It is, where is it? It's a 75-25 blend superwash merino, but incredibly soft. Very nice. I have been taking that one out and about with us. I don't know whether I feel like working on that one or my husband's Musselburgh. Both of those are great travel projects right now. And I have actually been, yeah honey, just a minute, okay? I have actually really been wanting to learn to knit on DPNs. So I thought about starting another sock on a pair of DPNs and just seeing how that goes. My next work in progress is a redo, I guess is how you would say it. I decided that I wore, this is my Luminous Summer that I finished this summer. It is just, it was too hot. It's a DK weight short sleeve shirt, but I really wanted to enjoy it, but it's too hot to wear in the summer. So what I thought I would do, I brought it back out. Excuse me. I took the binding off, and I ended up having to go all the way back because it was a huge disaster. But anyway, that problem was averted, and I'm going to, I joined my Bear yarn, make this a 3/4 length sleeve, and then I'm going to undo the binding here and add length to it to make it longer. And I feel like I would enjoy this so much more, and it would be so much more wearable for me. Again, I won't go into too much detail because there's plenty of episodes, you know, where I was knitting it. But this is the Luminous Summer by Minimi Knit Designs. The yarn I used is, I still have it in here. No, actually I don't. I bet I threw it away. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. It was You Knit I Die in the color Freak Show. And then this is just a Bear yarn from Knit Picks Hawthorne DK. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing with my Luminous Summer. It's going to become a 3/4 length sleeve instead of short sleeve. And I'm going to add length to the body where I will be much more comfortable wearing it with like jeans or something. And I am doing the sleeves on, what size is this? I think it's a, yeah, size 5, 3.75 millimeter. That is coming along. I haven't worked on it in quite a few days, but I was glad to at least get that started. Let's see here. I know I have at least one more project. Yep, there it is. Oh, here's the sweater shirt my granny square shirt I was unraveling to make that splatter paint hat. Okay, next, this is my last work in progress. I started a Flax for little lady, and then I did all this in one night. I was very thrilled about that. I thought, this is coming along great. And then I realized, well, one thing I did that I was just gonna let go is I forgot to change needle size. So one round is in a smaller needle size than it's supposed to be, but I thought, no big deal. I caught it quick enough. Well, and then, let me see the way it's supposed to go. These are, I think this is starting the sleeve where the garter ridge is. I'm not getting, I didn't do a gauge swatch. No surprise there. I don't usually. Uh-oh. Okay, so I can't remember if I said it, but this was the Flax by Tincan Knits. But anyway, so I don't think I'm getting gauged, so I'm trying to decide, do I just keep going and maybe it'll the tension will kind of even out, or there's so little on this that I could easily just rip it back and start over. I'm undecided right now. I kind of feel like I could keep going with it because based on her measurements, I'm making the 8 to 10-year-old size. Like, are you kidding me? I don't know if like the kids that Tincan Knits uses for their samples are like really small or what. But what's funny is I think it must be a normal thing because I was also watching Emily from Delight Knits, and she's making her daughter's just turning 4, I believe. So there's maybe a few months, like, I don't know, there's a few months between her and her daughter and little lady, and she couldn't believe she was making an 8 to 10-year-old size either. So something must be a little off on their measurements. But anyway, so I feel like I could totally just keep going and wing it, but I'm not sure. The yarn I'm using, it is in this bag. I have so much of this yarn that it's crazy how I ended up with it. It's either yarn that I have bought through the years that was the same, or I was given a bag or a box of like yarn with projects in it that my mom sent me, and like I haven't unraveled it yet because I feel bad. It was crocheted, and whoever the lady was, she had made an adorable little skirt, but I don't know how to, I don't really know what stitches she used to try to copy it to complete it, you know what I mean? But super cute. She was making a little skirt, and then she had a little hat right here, and I just don't have the heart to unravel them. So I've just been keeping it with the yarn that I had. And here's another. Now this one I could take apart. Oh, this one I did actually. I was trying to, I did a scarf from Fiber Flux many years ago, and I emailed her asking if it would be okay, and she never responded, and it's been like 5 years, so I feel like at this point I could share it. I was trying to do the same stitch in a hat design. So I've never unraveled that either. So, but anyway, the yarn is just Caron Simply Soft in the color Strawberry. Very soft yarn. And that's what I'm using. I'm not going to unravel. I don't really care about unraveling the hat I have, but I don't want to unravel this skirt and hat. It was so cute. Okay. So, and I don't know who put the work into it, but I feel bad unraveling it, so I haven't yet. Okay, so that is the last work in progress. Well, it's not. It's the last work in progress I have actively worked on. But as I mentioned, I'm bringing out a really old crochet blanket because I would like to finish it. This is a blanket I started when little lady was a newborn. It is a milestone blanket. In fact, I showed this on my very first podcast episode, and I don't think it's been shown since. So it's been over 3 years, and I don't even know how long since I worked on it. It is a Grow With Me blanket. So you have the months. And let's see, so actually the only months I need are 1, 5, and 9. Wow, so wow, further along than I thought. Anyway, it's a crochet blanket. It has the numbers, it has the months, it has this pretty green leaf thing, and then at the top in that purple yarn that's right here, it says, I think it says Grow With Me or Watch Me Grow or something. I don't even remember who it's from. I will link my Ravelry page for it. And I thought I would really like to crochet again. What do I crochet? I've been really inspired by Carla. She has been crocheting all kinds of stuff. And she's currently crocheting a sweater or a cardigan. I think it's a cardigan. And she is actually having a blanket along to finish old blankets. And so I thought I will bring this out and finish it. Obviously, little lady, while it was a work in progress, I think I got to about 7 months with taking her photos, but I thought it would be a nice heirloom blanket if I could finish it, and then she could just have it, you know, in the event that she ever has a daughter or granddaughter or something. I don't know. I don't want to rip it out, and I don't want to make it and give it to someone else when it was intended for her. So whatever she does with it in her life is fine. She'll know that Mama made it. Okay, the yarn I'm using, the white yarn is just Red Heart Super Saver in the color white. And then let's see what size this is. The green leaf motif here I don't have any of it left, I don't think, is Big Twist Value, which I'm pretty sure is Joanne brand. Yeah, Joanne. And it was in the color Emerald. That's a really nice yarn too, actually. The pink yarn for the numbers is, let's see if I even have it. Nope, that's white. I don't have it anymore, but I'm pretty sure it was just pink or bright pink or something like that. And then where I crocheted the words months, or that's one word, the word month, and I will crochet, I can't remember if it's Watch Me Grow or Grow With Me or something like that, is Red Heart Super Saver in the color Orchid, I believe. Yep, in the color Orchid. Red Heart Super Saver. And I don't have the hook in here, but I'm pretty sure I'm using a 5mm hook. And really, I shouldn't. This was kind of exciting. I haven't taken it out to even see how far I was. So I really shouldn't have all that more to go. So that is really exciting. And here's this half of it. And this really pretty little leaf motif. So I brought that out to finish, and hopefully y'all will help me, encourage me to finish that. Okay, now on to my next project. No, I have not started this, but these are projects I want to make. I brought out 2 yarns. I cannot decide. Where's my other one? I didn't bring it over here. It doesn't matter. I have some yarns. I can't decide if I'm going to make it in this black yarn, but I would like to make a granny square. It's called the Granny Pop Cardigan by MJ's Off the Hook Designs. She has a full tutorial, and it's a free pattern on her blog if you sign up, or you could just buy the PDF. Really pretty. I'll pop a picture of it in here. And so I'm really wanting to make that, but I can't decide if I'm going to use this black yarn or if I'm going to use, I have a bunch of Lion Brand. I can't remember if it's Heartland or Homeland. It's the smaller one. I think it's Homeland, and it's in the color, I thought I brought it out, Cuyahoga Valley, I believe. It is a beautiful green color. I'm thinking of using this black yarn though, because she does mention in her tutorial, her video tutorial, that the yarn she uses is on the thinner side of worsted weight, and technically she calls for a DK weight. So that makes me think I should use this black yarn, which is Yarn Bee Soft Secret yarn, which is very thin, almost like a, if you're familiar with Karen soft, it's very light worsted weight. I just don't know if I want to work with black yarn. So there's that. And then I also brought out, oh, this will help me answer my question. Okay, so this is also Lion Brand. This is Hometown, so the Aran weight must be Heartland. And I am wanting to knit something like another type of cardigan with this. I have a bunch of this. I just don't know what I want to knit with yet. And that is all of my projects. So it didn't really seem like as much as to talk about as I thought, but when you see it all around me, it's just a huge mess. But maybe now I can get it out of my family's way. Okay, so my acquisitions. First, I bought a sock ruler on Amazon. This is from Prim. Do you need a sock ruler? Not really. I was using just a standard little ruler, but it was but because it's not designed to go inside of yarn, it was catching like little snags on the inside. So this was like $5 on Amazon or something. So it has centimeters on the back, and I thought it would be very useful for using the making the gift socks, since I have so many planned. So I have not used it yet, but let me get it out, show you how it would work. I haven't even figured this out. So we'll pull out my husband's niece's sock again, and let me just finish this row so I don't have stuff all over the place here. work my way across here super quick. So what have you all been working on? Let me know in the comments. And I know I've said this, but just to mention it again, my projects are always listed on Ravelry. I try to keep as many detailed notes in there as I can, so if there's anything I forgot or you have any questions, you can ask below or check out the project pages and see if it's maybe something I've already answered in there. And also I ask that you do, if you've made it this far, you do all the YouTube-y things and like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and I greatly appreciate it. And okay, so here we go. I have finished. So I am making obviously a top down sock. So what I would presumably do, it didn't come with instructions, I mean it's a ruler, is put the heel in here, I guess. I don't know, am I even doing this the right way? And then knit the foot length. Let's see. However long I need it to be. Where's the turn? Here we go. Or if you were doing toe up, I imagine it would be the same way, and then you could just measure it to however long. The whole thing only goes to 8 inches, but oh wait, hold on. Okay, so it starts this way, so it would probably work better if I had more length on the sock, but this rounded end would go into the heel turn, and as I knit more on it, it will kind of close up and tell me how long it is. And I need to look up like average lengths for shoe sizes, because I know they're shoe size obviously, but anyway, so that's kind of how it works, I guess. Cool. Yeah, I'm just looking goofy now, but do it like that, and that's in theory how it's supposed to work. Those other sock rollers, I think it's just called the original sock roller. I don't know if I haven't discontinued them, but man, those things are hard to come by. Everyone, it's completely out of stock on Etsy, and I mean Amazon, and then the ones I saw on Etsy, they like really jack the prices up from what I know it normally costs. But anyway, whatever. Okay, so that's how I ended up with that one. So my next, my last acquisition is I got a roll of, I take this thing off. They put tape all around it. I didn't realize that until just now. But I got a roll of nylon because well, this isn't coming off. I'm gonna just open it like this. Yeah, here we go. Take the outer wrapping off. Okay, so I got some Red Heart nylon crochet thread. And I got this because I am wondering, I mean, I'm seeing now it's probably a little thicker, but if I'm using like, oh, that reminds me, that was why I got this. I technically have another acquisition that I didn't buy. My mother-in-law gave to me. I'll get that in a minute. But she gave me a bunch of fingering weight acrylic yarn. And so, excuse me, my thought was I could make socks with it. And I was wondering if like just for the like heels and toes, if I knitted double with this thread, but I think it may be too thick. I don't know if you can see that. If that would reinforce the heels, or I saw Roxanne Richardson where she took some kind of thread, but it wasn't this thick, like a nylon thread, and weaved in and out on the inside of, I think she was demonstrating on a heel, but I'm sure you could do it on a toe as well. And then it would reinforce that, and you know, it would, you know, work out a lot better, kind of like the nylon content they put in socks. But now that I have it, I think it may be too thick, so I may just try doing the weaving in and out. If I might try it on a pair of socks for myself first, and then try it, see how well it does. Anyway, I don't know. It made sense in my head at the time. I'm not gonna get that bag of yarn. It's all like so my father-in-law's sister brings my mother-in-law a bunch of like yarn that she finds for good deals at like Goodwill and stuff, and my mother-in-law in turn makes a bunch of blankets and hats and things to donate, but she can't use, and kind of like when I crocheted, I never used fingering weight yarn either, so she's not comfortable with using it, doesn't know sizes to make with it, and doesn't want to hold it double or anything like that. So she gave it to me because she knows I use it a lot, and so I was hoping to find a way to make socks with it. I might also end up, it's a huge bag, I might end up making a little lady a sweater or cardigan or something with it. So anyway, that is it. I believe that's all I have to share with you all today. Not much else going on there. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.